Hey guys, welcome back to the Mitch Murray Podcast. It's Thomas and Dan, and today we have a special guest on the show. His name is Frankie Schultz. He's the owner and founder of Gutterwerks Roofing, and let's get into it. So Frankie, tell us, tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
I've been in roofing going on 45 years. I started when I was young. I was an old hot roofer back in the day, and worked for a couple commercial roofing companies, and then got into residential roofing. And that's pretty much what I've been doing the last 40 some years of roofing, and mostly now I'm doing a lot of focusing on maintenance and coatings and gutters and gutter cleaning. And that's pretty much my history of the roofing.
Cool. Okay.
In short.
Okay. So, if someone needs to get their roof done, what's the first thing they need to do? Do they need to contact you, or do they need to, get, call you for a quote, or what's the process?
Usually they'll call, depending on if there's damage in the house. Most of the time we have to get inside to see any kind of damage or roof leak, but they would call and we would go out and assess the roof and see if a repair or a replacement is needed, and photos of the roof condition, and pretty much it's a pretty simple process.
Right.
And customers, I tell, should get a couple estimates just to compare estimates to one another, unless you have somebody that's a family contractor or was recommended. It's always suggested to get maybe 2 or 3 estimates to compare.
You see that, guys? That's the mark of a really good contractor. He's telling you right up front, hey, get a couple quotes, and then you can compare the pricing, and then get back to me if you want to move forward. So that's really good. What do all the services you guys offer? I know I'm looking at your website. Gutters, of course, roofing. But what types of roofs? Is it rubber roofs, shingle roofs?
We do a lot of heat welded rubber. We do a lot of coatings, maintenance, seamless gutters, gutter cleaning, gutter guards, repairs, new roofs, shingles. Pretty much all aspects of roofing we're involved in, and that's it. Yeah.
And that's only based in Philly, or you do the suburbs too?
Philly and surrounding.
Okay.
Bucks and Montgomery.
All right. And then we were talking about this off camera. You said Philly is one of the meccas for roofers. Why is that?
Philadelphia's market is more flat roofing. It's more of maintenance issues. It's a lot of heat welded flat roofing, a lot of coatings. So it's a different market than shingles. And there's a lot more maintenance required when you have a flat roof as opposed to shingle roofs. So the market's a little different.
So basically, the infrastructure of how the city was built definitely is, a benefit for roofers, and it's pretty much all the same type of roofs around the entire city.
Pretty much.
For residential.
Pretty much. I mean, there's one side of it is the flat workers, the roofers that are specialized just in flat work, as opposed to shingle guys that do the shingle work on the surrounding areas of Philly.
Now, a lot of times you don't even need to go out to a job. Somebody can take a few pictures, tell you what's going on, and you pretty much have a quote already in your head.
Well, I almost have a quote depending on what's needed, but a lot of times, and I tell customers this all the time, if the guy's physically not going to go up on the roof to assess the issue, then I don't know if that's the right guy to get. There's drones and there's Google Earth and whatever other tools there are, but to me, I would want an actual contractor to be on the roof looking at
to put their eyes on what's going on.
That's an issue in the roofing market now. Is a lot of guys don't put a ladder up to go up and assess the issue.
Right. So one of the main reasons why we wanted to bring you onto the show is because, we get calls all the time from previous customers or just people in the public asking, what should I do? Who do you guys have any roofers that we can call? Because they get so many different prices. Obviously, there's going to be different prices for guys like Dan and myself because we're in the business. We're doing, so many jobs. So the pricing is going to be different. But, we get calls from customers all the time saying, I got this number for a flat roof. And the number is astronomical. We're like, wow, it definitely shouldn't be that. Why is it such a difference in the pricing for a residential customer, with so many different companies out here?
Well, we and Danny were actually talking about that before we set up, and the problem is a lot of these guys today go out and they're all looking for the big job, the new roof, nobody wants to do the repair, the small repair that'll get you by. And we were talking about how, if Mrs. Jones went out and got 6 estimates, the prices should all be close. Somebody that's reputable, that has insurance, a small company, the prices can't be way off unless somebody's hijacking a truck. Stealing the material. The labor's got to be the same. So the price can only be a difference of a few dollars, 100 or 200. Somebody might have more truck payments than the other guy, so his price might be a little higher, but the prices have to be this close for the same scope of work.
Right, but what we're seeing is, and it happens a lot, is that a contractor may be looking at a home. I mean, you could tell me. I think that this is what's happening. I think a contractor is looking at a guy like Thomas and I. You talk to us for 30 seconds. Right. These guys know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
So if you were looking to make a score on us, it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen, right?
But if they see an older woman or an older couple or an older family, and they see an opportunity, the next thing you know, the price that we would get quoted as $1,000 is now $5,000. And a lot of times a homeowner may just say, okay, the price is $5,000.
Well, that's what's going on out there. I mean, it's out there, you just don't hear about it. But I mean, I'm in houses every day where, elderly woman might have spent $6,000 on a roof when a repair would have taken care of it. So yeah, I mean, it's happening out there. And I think the market for a senior citizen compared to contractors or investors like you, where the prices are way.
They get wacky.
You got to have some kind of inkling of what's going on, and you got to do your homework. I mean, especially if you're shopping for a roof or
Well, for our audience, we're going to start doing more. We're going to integrate some of the stuff that we see with contractors, and you specifically just handle roofing.
Yeah.
But we were going to do the same thing. We are going to bring a plumber on, or electrician, and show people even like Thomas and I had a situation with windows, where installing windows or buying material, depending on what the cost is. We want people to know, like our audience, our real estate agents that work with us, our network, our people that follow us on social media, we want to bring them into our world a little bit by saying, use and of course, this is something good for you. But we have a long-standing relationship with you.
Of course.
So we want to bring them into our world to say, if you do have a flat roof in Philadelphia, and you're getting a price for $5,000 to replace, 1,500 square foot row home.
You might want to check
that may be a little high, that price. And we want to introduce them to the people that we know, the people that we trust, and that's why we wanted to bring you in here.
I've been out there a long time, and I'm just going to say that not every contractor is bad, and not every contractor does things a certain way with senior citizens or whatever way they do it. But there's a lot of guys do good work. The problem is they might be selling customers work they don't need.
Yeah.
That's the issue from my world.
What about the pricing though? Even if they're saying you need a new roof when you don't, is the
prices are inflated. I would have to say, if you're an elderly person or a woman by yourself with nobody watching to help you, I think the prices might be a little inflated.
There's a good chance you're going to get a bigger number.
And this is, it's not just contractors. It happens every day in the real world. Car business, everything.
We're talking about roofing, and the thing with roofing is it's a blind item. Nobody sees it.
Yes.
And that's the issue, is you're not coming.
The homeowner's not going up on the roof.
Look at the new roof I just got. Nobody's seeing that, but you will say, look at the new windows or the door I got. But roofing, a guy could go up there and put bubble gum on a leak. If it doesn't leak, he's a hero and charge a lady $5,000.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
And I see it as sometimes you got people that are looking to make a score.
Yeah.
And our experience with Frankie is he's not
one and done.
Yeah, he's not looking to make us. He's not getting rich off of one job.
Listen, I've been around it so long. It doesn't matter to me if I go to a woman's house, no matter who it is, and it's a hole in the roof and it's a $50 fix. That's it. That's all it is.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't make a difference to me. Life goes on, and I'll be on another job tomorrow anyway.
Yep.
So, but the problem is guys are selling customers work they don't necessarily need, and it's an issue. It's just not.
And the one thing I could say about Frankie, and Thomas and I are like this. We're on the street all the time.
Every day.
Yeah,
and when you call him, he's on the street every day. He's working every day. We'll call him and say, we got a job that we need you to look at, and it's in Mount Airy. And he'll say, I'm in Mount Airy today.
Yeah.
I'll go look at it right now, or I'll go look at it this afternoon.
It's all about service. With roofing, you have a roof leak and it's pouring in. You don't want to hear your roofer's on vacation. He's coming next Tuesday, or your toilet's overflowing, and your plumber's golfing. He can't get there all tomorrow. He needs somebody there to service you.
And that's another sign of somebody who's doing a good job or doing good work, because they're busy. They're active. They have jobs. They have people calling them. They have I don't even know. I can't even count how many jobs we've done with you. It's so many over so many years. So that is another good sign. And I say it to people all the time, and you said it today, it's good to get quotes from multiple people. I agree with that, but it also has a lot of weight if somebody that you trust is talking to somebody that you referred to them. So that it makes a big difference too.
And the business that you're in, you guys always should have a network of plumber, roofer,
absolutely,
painter. They're your 5 go-to people.
Yeah.
I always say you got your doctor, your dentist, your golf instructor, your golf club phone number. There's a handful. It's just like your plumber, your roofer, your painter.
Yeah.
Your 5 go-to people.
Yeah,
absolutely. But in your experience in, working in Philadelphia, for someone that wants to get involved in roofing, what's the easiest way to get into that business?
Well, it's a tough business to get into. First, you can't be afraid of heights. We talked about that. And it's just, you got to do good work and have, a good work ethics. And, it's, the first thing I would say is to, try to build a base of customers that you can, do work for. And, it's all about money. If you have the startup money, I personally wouldn't get into roofing if I had to do it all over again.
But you have
went to school,
45 plus years of experience.
In today's world, it's a tough business, and it's dangerous business. It's a life or death business, and it's one of those businesses like a police officer or a fireman. Or you say goodbye to your wife, you might not come home at the end of the day.
Yeah,
it's a very dangerous business on top of everything else that we spoke about. But like I said, I love what I do. I love waking up in the morning and going to work, and if that's what you like to do, it's a great business to.
One thing that
get involved in. It's never going to stop raining.
Yeah,
roofs are always going to be leaking.
Yeah,
okay?
But that's one thing that me being in business or just going through life. Period. The successful people all have the same sort of work ethic.
Mm-hmm.
They get up and they go to work.
A purpose.
So somebody that wants to be successful or that wants to get involved in the roofing business, if you have those qualities and, to be a worker, to be a person that's going to go out and get up and do, the right things, but more importantly, doing right by people. As Frankie touched on, listen, a $50 job, me and Dan, have experience in this part on doing the whole job, doing a flip. The hardest part of the job is the end. When you got stuff that's probably a $50 to $100 job, nobody wants to do it because there's no money. Who wants to come out and do a $50, $100 job?
I love the small jobs.
But you got to do it.
You got to do it. And you know what? The end result is, at this point in my life, I don't really advertise. 90% of my work is referral. And that's the difference.
Yeah.
And it goes both ways. I mean, if you do shitty work and you're not up,
hey, don't use that guy.
Yeah.
You're not going to last. You won't even probably make it your first couple of years. But if you do consistent, good work, you can not help but make money and survive. it's just impossible.
Yeah, as long as you're doing the right thing by people, I'm a firm believer. You know, you are going to get people to use you.
It's a good feeling when somebody calls and they say, "I was referred by Mrs. Jones, and you did their sister." I'm doing work now for kids who I did their parents' back in the day, and the maintenance issue is the coatings and keeping the roof and the warranties going. But I'm doing work for the kids whose parents I put the roof on for it.
Right,
and that shows you a lot
really
when you're doing stuff for
feeling.
kids. That, you know, from the parents, because the parents are trusting you to do, good work. So that's awesome.
Humbling, and it's a good feeling. But like I said, I enjoy what I do. I wouldn't trade it.
Right. Dan, was there anything else that we wanted to touch on?
Well, I think the one component is, and I know Frankie personally, but there's like a sales element to this. Like when you said, would you start in the business, as a side to what we're doing, is, one of the key skill sets that we always talk about is, can you sell?
Yeah.
It's not just with roofing or with real estate or with, can you sell anything? Can you develop some of the skills that are required to sell, to be able to actually do that? And a big part of it is we see, can you accept rejection? Can you offer somebody something, them say no, and you go, okay, let's go to the next person. And that is one of the best things I know about myself is that, and I know you personally, and I know you too, that we can handle rejection. We're out on, like I said, we're out on the street all the time, and that is something that's so important that is kind of behind all our business. Whether it's plumbing or roofing, or you got to be willing to put yourself out there. You got to be willing, and you just talked about it earlier. We were talking about being in business for ourselves, and you said, I'm putting fires out every day. We joke, we have this clip that we play from this guy, this Teddy Atlas, and he talks about being a fireman.
Right.
And you're always, you're in the fire, and we're always putting out fires every day. There's chaos, and then you said some days go smooth, but really, not really. Some days, once in a while, once a month.
Some days go smoother. I should have said.
Yeah, exactly. Because every day there's fires that you got to put out. There's some problem. We're getting a call. We hate these calls. The washing machine doesn't work. And then you wonder, are they using it correctly?
Do they know what they're doing?
Do they know
how to work a washer?
Yeah. So, I like that about you, and that was the only thing I was thinking of while we were talking about this. That we talk about it a lot, but it was great having. We want our people that watch us. Why don't you throw your phone number out there if people want to call you? This is Frankie, and of course, if you call me and Thomas. And you need roofing work done, we're going to refer you to Frankie, but people want...
You can get us at Gutterwerks.net.
Gutterwerks.net, you can find him, or obviously call me or Thomas, and we would talk to you about, referring Frankie to you.
Yeah, and definitely. And just so you guys know, we're going to start having more contractors come on the show, just so we can get a better understanding of what's going on out, in Philadelphia, what, to look out for as a consumer, whether it's HVAC, electric, plumbing, roofing, everything, finishing work. We want to bring that world onto the camera, because we just was talking about this with Frankie. He actually brought it up. There's not too many podcasts that are bringing contractors on shows and talking about this.
It's not a glamorous topic, but for our business, it's very important.
It's very important.
And you don't need a roofer every day.
Absolutely.
You might need a roofer, if you are a homeowner, you might need a roofer once every 15 years.
But when you need them,
you
need them.
You only need a roofer when it's raining. When it's not raining, nobody calls me. They call me to play golf, or they call me for some other stuff. But they don't call me for the...
That's one thing. That's another thing I could joke with you. This guy, if you want to know the weather, he knows the weather for the next 10 days.
I watch the weather like a movie channel. My wife says, Frank, you've been watching the weather for 2 hours. I said, well, the green's moving a little bit. I think I got to
check the radar, baby. Check the radar.
I didn't tarp a roof once in my career. I'll never do that again.
All right, guys. Once again,
guys.
Frankie Schultz, the Gutterwerks. Give him a call. He can take care of you. Always be closing.
Thanks for checking us out.
Thank you.